What are the goals, the deep goals, the real goals that we have for the Associate of Arts degree? Because it is a generalized degree. And we believe that there can be a lot of value in that. Because if we were to specialize this, we don't know exactly it at the end of your 3 year path towards this degree in that specialty, you know, what value would that specialty have 3 years down the line in a society that is rapidly changing in terms of technology, artificial intelligence, automation, globalization, and thus business practices and the industries are shifting quite a bit in terms of what is needed for the new wave of workers that are going into their life as job seeking and job holding individuals. We don't exactly know what they need is going to be like. So it's much better for us to say, hey, here's a chance for you to develop certain skills that many of these jobs are going to require, even though they may also require some specialized knowledge that they in fact might be willing to train you in if you have some of these other general skills, like better thinking skills. All right, we want one of a very strong and main goal here is to make you rounded thinkers. Okay, rounded thinkers. That means that not only do you grow a little bit in logic and in metaphor and in analogy, because we think through those things, we also think through the story arc. Our mind has memory, self-awareness, consciousness, awareness of the presence, and then it has the ability to imagine the future. So we think in terms of beginning, middle, end. And we want to develop a linear path through that has characters that have meaning to them. So we think in story, we remember in story, we plan in the story arc. So getting better at telling stories, at receiving stories, at understanding stories, made up stories that are dealing with core truths in a universal way. There's value to fiction. Nonfiction stories that really try to give you information about people or events that have happened, but in a narrative form as they present the information to you. Nonfiction work, fiction work, handheld sight reading, reception of the story, audiobook, audio reception. How about the visual reception of the story? Listening to material, watching material, reading material. We're getting you better at intellectual literacy. In other words, better at just thinking and understanding the text you are working with and how to make that text be very effective in the growth it can give you. We're also trying to develop in you a sense of empathetic thinking, of having empathy for others. Not only are you hopefully going to grow in wisdom and knowledge, but you will be able to also grow in the understanding of how other people work, what matters to them, and what they are going through, and how it would feel like if you were going through that. So this is why some of our material, more than just a little bit, is focusing on other people's real life stories. Um, how about we look into poverty? How about we look into people that are struggling with a psychological challenge? How about those that how does the schooling process work for different types of people? How does um, uh, religion work for different types of people? And so this is something we're exploring so that you can begin to feel part of a community and understand that you are not a stranger to this. You share feelings and concerns with other people that may or may not look like you, but because they are human, you have this shared emotional and psychological ground that you need to learn how to explore and to see. So we want you to become a rounded thinker. We want you to develop empathy through your knowledge and wisdom. We want you to be better communicators. All right, as you're in a community and you're able to understand more about the community, and then you're able to feel the needs of the community, you need to be able to articulate better your words in terms of the different platforms that community accepts for communication. Written platforms, online platforms, video platforms, audio platforms, podcasts, whatever it may be. You aren't going to you don't necessarily have to work on all of those platforms, but the idea is you need to gain communication insight. how does the actual act of communication work? How does speech work in this sense? What can be effective speech? How do you recognize patterns and habits you have that can be ineffective and obstacles to a genuine connection with your audience? So you need to be better communicators. And little by little, all right, through the slim credit sort of template, you'll have very doable assignments and various assignments from different angles that will, over the whole length of the program, accumulate to give you a very solid and effective training and growth. There's one more thing that is a core goal for us, and that is to introduce extremely, well, we hope extremely, but interesting material to you that can give you a growth curve in terms of one of those three aspects. Can help you grow, can give you tools, and but because of the interesting story or the captivating movie, this material helps you work your way through it, because you want to spend a little more time reading or a little more time listening because it's an interesting story. So, if we're studying, say, some aspect, some topic, let's just say topic X, I can go to the public library and I might be able to find 50 books on topic X by ordering them, or they're on the shelves. I might be able to find 10 movies on topic X, a couple documentaries, a couple Hollywood movies, films that really probe the issue. So I can put them all out on the table. I have a lot of material here. For this program, for you, my job is to try to pick the one book I think is going to work for most of the students. The movie that's going to captivate most of them, if not all of them. The film, the documentary, the website, the podcast, the audiobook, the music that's going to make the point but be also captivating. Because once you begin to work with the right material that awards you for your attention, it creates interest, it maintains your interest, but then it also rewards your interest by giving you some nugget that you can tuck away in your mind or your heart that's going to help you be better as you act in the community and have an impact in the community. That is a key to you being a self-directed lifelong learner, so that you continue this after you leave our program and you realize that you grew through these materials, that these materials are there at your public library, that you're getting a sense of what they look like, and now you need to go find the next audiobook, nonfiction audiobook, that frankly you don't really want to turn off because it really is so interesting. Or that movie that is going to make you deeply emotionally engaged with it. And you're going to remember that movie for years because of one core scene or one core issue or one character that's going to be beneficial to you as a little adjutant, a little particle in the shell of your mind, and your mind's going to roll over that and create a pearl out of that over time. But you need to get that movie in you, and you realize that, and you can start picking these movies on your own. If you learn how to do this, your growth as a self-directed lifelong learner is limitless. Therefore, the power you have for good in the community that you are going to be placed in is also limitless. And those are our goals. Therefore, make you a more rounded thinker, make you a more empathetic communicator, right? I'm wrapping up too there. You need to have empathy as well as your intelligence. You need to develop this love for the other. And then you need to be able to communicate better, to take those thoughts, put them into words, and put them into text, whether, again, it's a video recording, a phone call, face-to-face communication, a speech. I don't know. There's so many of these things. But you find the right way to effectively communicate, right? And all of that is fueled by this notion of you are working through material that is helping you grow, and the material itself is interesting. It's rewarding. It creates interest, maintains it, rewards it for you. And then it's a joy to continue in a quiet and manageable way, week after week, month after month, throughout the rest of your life, to continue this growth.